We still gotta get it in.
First and foremost, we'll give all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabrakatah. Your sincere greeting, all the brothers and sisters scattered across the four corners, all the brothers and sisters out here keeping these righteous acts, keeping these feed days to the best of their ability. We know that these things aren't pleasing unto the Most High, but we do them, rehearsing the righteous acts, keeping them to the best of our ability, right? What I want you to speak on today, man, is pretty much, it's like we don't, I just feel like we don't understand the heart, man. We don't understand that inner man. And because we don't understand that inner man, we don't really realize why we doing what we doing. A lot of us come into this walk, a lot of us come into this truth for particular reasons, and we're not being honest with ourselves. We're not being honest with ourselves. Why are we coming into this truth, man? And if you go into the parable, and I may do this on Sabbath, I don't know. But if you go into the parable, I might go deeper into it. If you go into the parable of the seed sower, you go into the parable of the seed sower, you will see, man, that you will see about the heart, about the soil actually being the heart, right? The soil is the heart, the seed is the word of God. And I'm just paraphrasing for time purposes. I know Israel really can't watch a lesson more than 5 to 10 minutes. So the heart being the soil, when you're seeing the wayside and you're seeing the stony ground and you're seeing the ground full of thorns and you're seeing the good soil, all those soils are metaphors for the heart. All those soils are in the heart is the inner man, it's the subconscious mind. So you having these problems, this seed is having a problem being planted in you because of that subconscious mind, because of that inner man. And that inner man is sometimes led by an agenda. A lot of times people come into this thing trying to rectify their finances, trying to rectify their families, trying to rectify mistakes that they done made, or trying to chase ego. Maybe they were socially awkward in the world, and then they come into the world and they come into not the world, but to this community, to this Israelite community, and they trying to be somebody, and they start seeing they getting praised just by reading the scriptures. Or some people that messed up their lives totally in all other categories, but they do. He's a God-fearing man. She's a God-fearing woman. She do keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You are trying to cut people with these scriptures and trying to justify why you in the situation that you in, why you're not progressing in life, and trying to find scriptures to justify that fact, or trying to get lost in the scriptures so you don't have to face those issues and those things that you got going on in the world, man. That you don't, those serpents that you need to be picking up like Moses did. Those snakes that you need to be picking up, because those are the tools to help you grow. Those are the tools that's going to help that plant grow. Those are the nutrients. That's the water. That's the pesticide that's going to help the plant grow. But we running from those adversities. We running from those trials and those tribulations, right? And we trying to hide into this. So that could be another agenda. Another agenda trying to keep your marriage, or trying to find a new marriage, trying to find a marriage, trying to find a wife. Or I'm going to get rid of this wife and I'm going to get me something new. Or I'm finna try to do this so I can, you know what I'm saying, show my wife that I'm doing this right. I'm keeping this and that. I'm a changed man now. I mean, look at me. Look what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? And all that is doing those things for other people, so other people can admire you, right? So you can do those things that are well pleasing to other people instead of the Father, instead of Yahweh Hashem. So you have to evaluate that. And when those people, or when those things, or when that agenda gets compromised, or it's not moving the way that you feel your agenda need to be moving, then you start feeling, you know what I'm saying, then you start withering. The plant start withering. It's like, I don't want to deal with that no more. I don't want to deal with. Or when you accomplish the agenda, a lot of people wither up as soon as they get their family. As soon as they get married, they're like, all right, man, I'm out. Be right back in the Christian church. Be right back in the church. Right when they get their finances together, right when that check finally came up, right when the income tax check came, right when they get the relief, then they out. Because they were here for an agenda. They were here to get their prayers answered. I just want to get my prayers answered, man. I know you can't keep me unless I'm keeping these laws up for the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so you have an agenda. Shalakia. Alright, let's start with Hosea chapter 10, verse 12. Watch this. Because we're still talking about, understand about the socio. And the different kinds of soil. It's different textures of the heart, different textures of the subconscious mind, where the seed, which is the word of God, cannot be planted in because it's stony, because it's full of thorns, because it's on the wayside, right? So, and it don't fall on good ground. You want to make sure that your subconscious mind, you want to make sure that your inner man is ready to receive the word. A lot of us being pushed into this thing. A lot of us being forced into this thing, and our subconscious mind is not ready to receive the word. We're not breaking up that ground. And to break up that ground is to remove those thorns, man. To start pulling those thorns out. To start, you know what I'm saying, breaking up. If it's a stony ground, you got to break it up. That's why the scripture always talks about Israel hardening their hearts. Hardening their hearts, being stiff-necked. That hardened ground, it gotta be broken, it gotta be chiseled down. We're gonna deal with that. Hosea chapter 10, verse 12. Sow to yourselves. It says, sow to yourself. Not sow for others to see, not sow for your family to see, not sow for your pastor to see, not sow for your classmates. It's sow for yourself in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground. Break up that fallow ground, man. Break up that ground. Plow that ground. That's why you need the plow. That's why I say anybody who picks up the plow and look back, Luke 9:62, anybody that pick up the plow and look back is not fit for the kingdom. If you don't pick up the plow, man, and break up that fallow ground that's within you, you got to work on you. You got to work on breaking the ground of yourself. If you're not here to break up that ground, then you're not fit for the kingdom. You're going to be a reprobate. You're going to be unfit. You're not going to be spiritually sound enough to receive the word. And that's what's happening to a lot of Israel, man. That's why it's just turning into bash. Oh, man, the women ain't about nothing. The men ain't about nothing. Man, why are you even worried about? See, that's an agenda. You got an agenda. You're thinking that the women going to be about something. So now you don't worry about the women, man. Get you together. Be sitting here, plow. See, you looking this way, and you can't plow your ground. You can't plow straight lines. Sow to yourselves in righteousness. Reap in mercy. Break up your fallow ground. Break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Most High till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Once that seed is able, once that ground has been plowed and broken up, then that seed can be placed in it. Then that word can be placed in it. Then he can rain down some righteousness, man. Then he can rain down some righteousness. Let me show you what happens to a lot of us, man. In Psalms 129. Psalms 129. Psalms 129. Verse 7. No, Shalaki. Verse 6 and 7. It says, let them be as grass upon the housetops. Matter of fact, let me go up a verse to verse 5. Verse 4, Shalaki. The Lord is righteous. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wickedness. He's cut asunder the cords of the wickedness. Come on. Let them all be confounded and turn back that hate Zion. Let them be as the grass upon housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up. And that's what's happening. A lot of people are withering before they actually grow up. A lot of people are withering before they actually get mature. Before they actually spiritually mature, before they actually become perfect, these plants are withering because they're not deeply rooted. The roots don't go down. The ground ain't been plowed enough. It ain't been the ground ain't been broken up enough where the seed can be planted deep enough where the roots can flourish and a plant grow. When you have a plant And this is why you need to understand agriculture when you read the scriptures too, man. You got to start doing classes on agriculture, and that's a cut to myself. I'm cutting myself with that. Need to start doing some more classes on some science, on the sciences of agriculture. But when you put a plant, I started a garden when I had my I had an apartment, and I had the back patio, and I put a garden out there on the patio, and I put the soil in. I had seeds in there, man. And initially, man, them things were just growing, boom, squash things, everything was just sitting up like this high. You know what I'm saying? Leaves all showing. I'm like, man, look at that. You know what I'm saying? But it ended up, it started withering. Why it started withering? Because the pots were too little. The pots were too small. I really needed to transplant those plants into a bigger pot. And so what happened is that the plant started withering. But initially, it was, man, leaves are showing. So a lot of times we come into this truth, but we be like, oh, man, what you need me to do? Oh, here, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Friends is shining, you know what I'm saying? Everything brand new, throwing them arms out there, But that seed ain't deeply rooted. That followed ground ain't really been broken up all the way. And there's an agenda. And that's what keep the ground being broken up too. Having an agenda in this walk is like trying to plow through metal, trying to plow through steel, right? That thing gotta be burnt. That thing gotta be burnt to a crisp. That need to go through the furnace. They need to go through the adversities. And you gotta be honest with yourself why you doing this thing, man. You gotta be honest with yourself. Be honest with your brothers. Be honest with your sisters, man. Be honest with your family, especially if you're in the camp. But if you're not in the camp, if you're doing the thing solo, be honest with yourself, man. What are you doing this for? Are you doing this just to attack camps? Or if you done left a camp and now you got this agenda to go hard just so you can attack camps? Or to say, oh man, that doctrine wrong. Or that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's an agenda. And you're not really healing yourself. You're not really, so now you done jumped into something totally different. Well, now you got the evil eye. Now you got that jealousy in you. You got that spirit of the evil eye on you. So now you're looking at the other camp. You say, oh man, that brother. Now you're looking at the camp you just left, and now you're just trying to figure out a way to say, hey man, them brothers wrong over there. Brother off. Man, Phoenix don't know what he's talking about. And man, listen, I don't care. Yeah, don't know about me. I don't have no agenda, bro. If this could leave, if Prince of Power could go, I'd be straight. My pockets would be straight. This ain't something I had to take discipline to do this, man. My flesh don't want to do this. It's the spirit that keep it doing these lessons, man. Keeping the school open. It's the spirit that do that. Ain't me. I don't want what shit. But see, I'm honest with myself. My ground has been broken up where that seed can be planted in there. I met a brother out here, man. Been out there by himself, man. Jungle showed me a picture. He had a whole lamb on the grill with the lamb head leaning over on an apartment grill. He tried to roast a whole lamb with no bones broken for Passover on an apartment grill, man. It's illogical, and that's the kind of faith you gotta have. That's the kind of obedience you gotta have, an illogical obedience, a blind obedience to the Most High, man. And we not having that because we have agendas, because our ground hasn't been broken up, because we still hard, we still got that hardened heart, like an adamant stone, man. Did I finish that up? Wherefore the more filleth not his. Let me go back to the 6. Let them, Psalms 129 verse 6. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops which withereth, or if it grow up, man. Let if it withereth, for if it grow up. So a lot of us are not growing up. Shalakia. Wherewith the more filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. So that thing ain't gonna mature when nobody can pick it up, nobody could be able to use it. And that's what happened. A lot of brothers be jumping, boom, 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 boom. Be jumping from here to here to here to here to here, and you're never gonna be able to mature. You don't stay still long, you ain't gonna never be able to mature. You ain't gonna never be able to mature. You know what I'm saying? You may not agree with everything somebody say, but then you're gonna go over there and then you ain't gonna agree with everything somebody. Then you gonna go over there and then you ain't gonna agree with nobody say. So if you ain't agree, start your own. If you gonna leave something, start your own and get yourself planted, man, so you can mature. But again, you just gonna be, and I just seeing brothers become these little plants again, replanted again, And then they shining again. I see them shining again. And I just know that they just gonna wither, man. And then they just wasting the soil. The dude who out here throwing the seeds, just wasting his time, man. And I know the frustration and the agony of that. Because ain't nothing wrong with the soil. And ain't nothing wrong with the seed. It's something wrong with your heart. It's something wrong with the soil. All that parable's about. Luke chapter 8, Matthew chapter 13, Mark chapter 4. The soul seed parable. All that parable's about is the heart and the seed. Ain't nothing wrong with the seed. Ain't nothing wrong with the person throwing the seed. It's something wrong with your heart. There's something wrong with the soil. That parable is about the soil. And like I said, I may go deeper into this thing, but I'm going to give you a couple more precepts and then we're going to get about it. Luke chapter 8, verse 14. All right? We'll go into the parable. It says, and that which fell among thorns are they which when they heard the word, when they have heard, go forth, and the cares of the world, and Shalakia, let me start that over. And that which fell among the thorns are they which when they have heard, go forth and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life, right? And I'm stopping right there. And pleasures of this life. Like, there's nothing stronger. There's nothing that'll choke you out in this world more than that bread. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9, man. The love of money, the love of pleasure. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. The love of pleasure, nothing chokes that word out of you more than that, man. More than this word. But watch this. And bring no fruit to perfection. Right? Let me read it again. And that which fell among thorns are they which when they have heard go forth and are choked with cares and riches and pleasures of this life and bring no fruit to perfection. And it said perfection, that is maturity. It brings no fruit to maturity. Yeah, it didn't say that the plant ain't gonna grow up. It didn't say it ain't gonna spring up, but it's not gonna bring no fruit to maturity. You have a lot. I had to watch these squirrels, man. These squirrels running around here everywhere. You don't bring no fruit to maturity, man. A lot of jokers go out here, man. Yeah, man, be going to Cab Farm Market, taking home tomato plants. Like, yeah, man, plant in my backyard. Well, I see some little tomatoes on there, but the tomatoes never grow to maturity. The plants never grow to maturity because the soil, there's something wrong with the soil. Might need that miracle grow. And that miracle grow, man, that's your faith, man. That's your diligence and being rained, that righteousness being rained on you from the Father, man. Verse 15, but that on good ground are they which in an honest, what's that? Luke chapter 8, verse 15, but that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, in a noble and good heart, man. It's honest. That soil has been honest. It's honest, man. You honest with yourself. Your subconscious mind is honest. It doesn't contradict what you do out here in the world. Your inner man is not a contradiction to what you're doing out in the world, man. But a lot of us are doing Sabbath worshipers, man. We just Israelites on the Sabbath. We just Israelites on Wednesday and Saturday, man. We Israelites on glad day. Say you catch us out in the street, man, you wouldn't know none of that. We was no Israelite. You wouldn't know nothing about it. These are they which have an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit. And bring forth fruit with patience. With patience. It don't happen overnight. You don't come in no darn congregation thinking that you're going to bear no fruit in 6 months or 2 months. It take time to bear fruit, man. It take time to learn the art of agriculture. It take time to get a green thumb, to have a spiritual green thumb where you can bring forth fruit, man. Judge a tree by its fruit, right? It's going to bring forth that righteous fruit. A righteous tree gonna bring forth righteous fruit. And that's why you gotta know that agriculture. You gotta know these terms so you can get better understanding of these parables. But like I said, I may go deeper with this thing and talk more about identifying a shallow here, talk more about identifying a wayside here, may talk more about identifying the stony ground here, so we can understand and see what are we really doing, so we can eventually get ourselves to have an honest heart. to have an honest heart, to have an honest subconscious mind that does not contradict our worldly mind, does not contradict our actions that's within the world. With that, we're gonna say shalom.